Hello students, myself Professor Ankur and I welcome everyone for the GATE theory session on analog circuits. Today we are going to cover an important topic by the name log anti-log amplifier and precision rectifier from the topic of op-amp. This is our sixth session on operational amplifier. Let's start with the session now. So if you observe the basic circuitry shown there, we are going to discuss now a basic log amplifier using a diode. If you can observe carefully, you can see an op-amp with the non-inverting pin of the op-amp connected to ground. At the inverting pin between the output point and the inverting pin point, you can see connection of a diode and also a resistance R where a current I is flowing through R because of the voltage source connected to it defined by Vin. So this basic arrangement is going to work like a log amplifier. So first of all, what we need to understand here is the expression of the diode current. So if IF is the current for the diode and VF is the voltage of the diode, then we have a standard relation IF is equal to I naught e raised to VF by nu times VT. So this is a standard equation for diode forward bias current, where we are also estimating, or you can say approximating, the current equation. The actual equation is IF is equal to I naught e raised to VF by nu times VT minus 1. So we are neglecting the impact of minus 1 and we are going to consider the equation as IF is equal to I naught e raised to VF by nu times VT. So this was the current equation considered for this derivation. So now when you go for a rearrangement, you can define the value of VF. So first of all, we will shift the I naught term. So you have log of IF by I naught nu times VT as VF. And when you look at the property of operational amplifier with plus point connected to the ground, so since the non-inverting plate of the op-amp is connected to the ground, the inverting point will be also connected to ground due to impact of virtual ground. So if you observe carefully, the two pins V plus and the V minus pin are equipotential and the V minus pin will be at zero potential. So when you apply KVL to the output loop, you will have minus VF minus V naught is equal to 0 and you will get VO is equal to minus of VF. And that's the reason we'll end up at the equation shown on the left hand side as minus of V naught is equal to nu VT log of IF by I0. Also, when you see the B node being as good as zero potential, we can define the current I as V in by R, and that I is going to be as good as the forward bias current of the diode, because the current taken by the diode is going to be as above, and we say that the current taken by the op-amp is going to be as good as zero because of very high input resistance. So when you look at the current I given by the input source V in flowing through R, that I will be equal to IF, because we are considering internal resistance of op-amp very high and the current taken by the op-amp as good as zero. So using that logic, we'll end up at the equation IF is equal to I V in by R. So now when you substitute the value of IF as V in by R in the top equation, we'll end up at V naught is equal to minus of nu VT log of V in by R into IO, where R into IO can be estimated as a constant defined by Vref. And that's the reason you will find VO is equal to minus of nu VT log of V in by Vref. So if you observe carefully, output is going to be the log function of the input. Hence, this amplifier is called as a log amplifier. Now, when we talk about the basic anti-log amplifier using the diode, you will find that the arrangement of the previous circuitry is being swapped with respect to the position of the resistor and the diode. So here on the feedback path, we have a resistance RF, and on the input path, we are having a diode defined by D. The logical understanding of the current and the voltage relation still remains the same, where we are going to assume IF is equal to I naught e raised to VF by nu times VT. So now if you observe, the drop across the diode is VF. The node A is at zero potential, that is the V plus pin of the op-amp is connected to the ground point. That is the concept of non-inverting pin being connected to the ground. automatically the inverting pin will be also connected to ground, or you can say it is virtual ground concept, and it is all because of the property of ideal op amp. When we talk about the operational amplifier, the internal resistance of the op amp is as good as very high value, so the current taken by the op amp is going to be as good as zero, and that's the reason the V plus pin and the V minus pin of the op amp are considered to be equipotential. So using that concept, you will find that the value of node VA, which is 0 volt, is going to be equal to the value of node VB, that will be also 0. Under this guideline, you can say V in minus Vf is equal to 0. So automatically V in will become equal to Vf. And that's the reason when you see the equation of IF, the value of IF will become equal to I naught e raised to Vf by nu Vt. Now you can define the value of IF same as I, because the current flowing on the input path is going to be the current flowing on the feedback path. So now I can define I is equal to IF, that will be VB minus VO by RF. VB is 0 as discussed. So the value of I is going to be equal to IF, and the value is going to be minus of VO by RF. So because of this, you will find the value of VO as minus of I naught into RF e raised to Vf by nu Vt. So automatically I naught into RF is going to be considered as a constant Vref, and you get VO equal to minus of Vref e raised to V in by nu Vt. So now if you observe, output is going to be e raised to something of the input, implies the effect is as good as the impact of anti-log. So this is how we can realize a basic op amp as a log amplifier and as a anti-log amplifier. The next topic that we are going to discuss here is precision rectifier. So the most important point we need to understand here, why do we go for precision rectifier circuits? Whenever we look at a diode, a load and an input point, which is a voltage source, we will find that whenever the voltage of the diode is being crossed, or the input crossing the value of 0.7, the diode will be forward biased. It will work like a closed switch, and the output is basically as good as the input. That is the basic principle of a half-wave rectifier under a forward bias position of the diode. Now, due to this, one important point we have to consider, that the input has to cross the voltage requirement of the diode, then only the rectification will happen. Implies the rectification is normally designed for circuitries such that they will actually rectify signals greater than 0.7 volt. So whenever we consider a very small signal in the range of millivolt or less than even 0.7 volt, then the rectification is as good as impossible considering the basic circuits. And that's the reason we are going to require precise rectification of such very small signals. And hence we can develop or realize precision rectifier circuitries using op amp. So in this topic, we are going to design a rectifier that is going to rectify very small voltages. Now, when we talk about the precision rectifier as a half-wave rectifier, there are two types of half-wave rectifier circuitries available: inverting half-wave rectifier and non-inverting half-wave rectifier. Let's have a look at these circuits. So now we are trying to understand the concept of non-inverting half-wave rectifier. The circuitry design is very simple. We are using an op amp and the arrangement is a closed loop. The impact is going to be negative feedback. The input is given to the plus pin of the op amp or the non-inverting pin. The minus pin or the inverting pin of the op amp is having an impact of negative feedback. The output of the op amp is going to control the status of the diode, and then the current will be flowing through R to develop an output voltage VO. So here, when we talk about the positive half cycle, so the VI is going to be positive. Automatically, the output of the op amp is going to be positive. So since the input is connected to the non-inverting pin and the non-inverting pin will be bigger than the inverting pin, so if you observe carefully, automatically the output of the op amp is going to be positive. That positive output will ensure the diode becomes forward bias. Automatically, it will work like a closed switch. And due to this, the entire circuitry will work like a buffer where the output will be same as the input. And that's the reason during the positive half cycle, we get the output as it is, which is as good as a copy version of your input. So this is the idealistic behavior of the circuitry where a diode under forward bias will work like a perfect closed switch. Now, when we talk about the negative half cycle of the input, the diode will be in the off state, and that's the reason it will work like an open circuit. No current will flow through the load RL, and automatically the value of VO is going to be 0. And that's the reason you will find that the negative half cycle will be eliminated, and we are going to preserve the positive half cycle of the inputs. So this is as good as concept of half wave rectification. So this is how you realize a simple half wave rectifier in the non-inverting arrangement of the op-amp. Now, when we talk about the inverting arrangement of the op-amp, the logical understanding here is the input is being connected on the feedback path at the inverting pin via the resistance R1. R2 will work like a feedback resistor, and there are two diodes present as D1 and D2, where now when you look at the op-amp position, the non-inverting voltage point, that is the non-inverting pin of the op-amp or the V plus pin of the op-amp, is connected to ground. So when we talk about the positive half cycle of the AC input, you will be observing that the diode 1 will be in the on state and diode 2 will be in the off state. Whereas when we talk about the negative half cycle of the input, we will find diode 1 in the off state and diode 2 in the on state. And that is the reason you will find the output. So here what we need to understand is, whenever we talk about the positive half cycle, even if diode 1 is on, the diode 2 is off. And since the diode 2 is in the off state, we are not going to get any impact at the output point. The output point will read a zero potential. But as soon as we talk about the negative half cycle, the negative half cycle will be given to the circuitry. Here, what we need to understand, that when we give the negative half cycle of the input, the diode 1 will be in the off state and diode 2 will be in the on state. So it will automatically work like a inverting amplifier. Under this configuration, the gain of the circuitry will be minus of R2 by R1. So we are designing the circuitry such that R1 and R2 will be equal. So under this situation, the value of VO will be as good as minus of VI. And that's the reason when you give the negative half cycle, the circuitry will work like a proper inverting amplifier with a gain of -1, and automatically the negative half cycle will get converted into a positive half cycle. So here what you observe, that we are actually eliminating the positive cycle and we are retaining the negative cycle in the form of a positive output. So this is again one more methodology of half wave rectification, where we are going to rectify only a half cycle. So this is the basic principle of inverting half wave rectifier circuitry. So as I've discussed regarding the situation there, what will happen when the input is going to be greater than 0, that is the positive half cycle, where one of the diode is forward bias and the other diode is reverse bias, and the output is going to be read as 0. And when we talk about a negative half cycle, the circuitry will work like an inverting amplifier with a gain of -1, and that's the reason you will be able to retain the negative cycle in the form of a positive output. So this is how you realize a circuitry as a half wave rectifier circuitry. So if you observe the precision rectifier circuitry shown here, we can see the two op-amp connected. At the op-amp A1, you can see the non-inverting pin been connected to the ground, and the inverting pin is connected to the input via the resistance R1. And you can see the feedback effect on the inverting pin, where you can see the two R resistances and the two diodes D1 and D2 shown. For the second amplifier, if you can observe carefully, it is the minus pin and the plus pin. At the plus pin, that is your non-inverting pin of the op-amp, you can see connection at the junction of the resistor R and diode D2, whereas the inverting pin is at the junction of the two resistances of R value, and you are measuring the output at VO. So what we need to understand here is what happens to the circuitry when we talk about the positive half cycle and the negative half cycle of the input. So now if I see the positive half cycle of the input, it will actually have an impact on amplifier 1 and amplifier 2. So now let's understand what will be the impact. When Vi is greater than 0, the inverting side of amplifier A1 will force its output to swing negative, thus forward biasing diode D1 and reverse biasing diode D2. Since no current flows through the resistance R connected between Vn1 and Vp2, both the points are equipotential. So that's the reason Vn1 and Vp2 will be at zero potential. But we will be able to retain the positive cycle at the output point defined by VO. When the Vi value is less than 0, the output voltage of A1 swings to positive, making D1 reverse bias and D2 forward bias. So here in this situation, we are going to retain the negative cycle in the form of positive cycle. Again, as we have discussed in the previous circuitry, the circuitry will work like an inverting amplifier with a gain of -1. So under that behavior, you will be able to convert the negative cycle into a positive cycle with a factor of -1. And that's the reason when you see the total output for a complete cycle, you will be getting two positive half cycles. So this is the basic concept of using a full wave rectifier, where we are actually able to rectify the cycles, positive half cycle as well as the negative half cycle. So this is the way we are developing precision rectifier circuitries using a combination of operational amplifier and diodes. Thank you.